and welcome to Avropa Dalğası. Avropa Dalğası is a podcast series that highlights topics related to the European Union, which is initiated by the delegation of European Union to Azerbaijan and Young European Ambassadors Network. I am Roya, your host for today's episode. We are honored to be joined by a very special guest, the Ambassador of Lithuania to Azerbaijan, Mr. Kęstutis Vaskelevičius. Hello, Ambassador.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Today we are going to talk about educational opportunities in Lithuania and also cultural connection between our countries and how young people can benefit from studying abroad. To start, I would love to hear about your experience in Baku. Is there anything that caught your attention so far about Azerbaijan and Azerbaijani people?
I came in Azerbaijan last August, so less than a year, almost a year. And it really impresses me. Friendly people, rich culture, very tasty cuisine. And what I noticed in Baku, of course, it's a love for culture and music. I haven't seen cities where you have so many plaques and monuments and honoring your composers, artists, writers who lived in this building or that building, which are honored. So it's really very encouraging to see this love and appreciation for your cultural heritage, as well as outside Baku. I also like to travel. So outside Baku, I was inspired by the nature. Quite often, I would say, I go to Guba, to Shamakis, to Genja, to Naftalan. I was 3 times. I was also a few times to Karabakh. Really impressed by the beauty of the nature here in Azerbaijan.
That's wonderful to hear. Speaking about connections, I would love to mention that we're going to host the fair, which is called Study in Europe, with 13 Lithuanian universities in it. And how do you think it's going to affect the relationship, educational, I would say, connection between our countries?
Well, Lithuania is a relatively small country, but I'm happy to know that it will be more than 10, 13, or probably even more, but definitely more than 10 universities represented at this educational fair in Baku. So it shows, I think, that both countries want to appreciate each other, want to know more about each other. And Azerbaijani students are very much welcomed to Lithuania. I talked to more than 6 universities, rectors or leadership or representatives who also very much appreciate Azerbaijani students. So this number of Lithuanian universities that will participate in education fair, I think, shows this strong bonds and good prospect for the future.
Yeah, personally, I believe education is a powerful bridge between countries, and I got the opportunity to study in Lithuania at Kaunas University of Technology. That was my exchange semester. It was like 2 years ago when I was studying at ADA University, and we had opportunity. There was a lot of competition. That was really so hard to enter that process. We went through elections and after that we were chosen, and I was one of the lucky ones. And I was surprised when I was in Lithuania because I saw a lot of Azerbaijani students, and then raised a question. I would love to get your perspective on that issue. Why do you think it is such an attractive destination for especially Azerbaijani students when they choose to study abroad?
I'm so happy to learn that you studied in Lithuania, and even more so that you studied in Kaunas. It's the second largest city in Lithuania. I myself studied in Kaunas. Yeah. It's known as a capital of Lithuania is Vilnius.
Yeah.
But Kaunas is known as a capital of student in Lithuania because it has the biggest amount of students per capita. And yes, I could confirm that there is a huge interest among Azerbaijani young population to study in Lithuania. I would say it's because, first of all, Lithuania offers a good quality of education, comparably, especially with the prices. And we have new modern laboratories, new equipments. Lithuanian universities offer more than 600 programs in bachelor, master, doctors in English language. So for foreign students, it's more than 600 programs in English, which is really a big advantage. We have students from more than 130 countries, around 10,000 students from abroad studying in Lithuania. It's around 10% of the whole student population, so it's quite a big number. Students can enjoy student life in Lithuania. We have really good logistics and infrastructure. I would say another reason is career opportunities, because while studying in Lithuania, students can start internship or start already in the higher year of their studies. They can start already job, and universities are looking very positively. So you can negotiate, or you can kind of with the professors or faculty that your classes will be, at night. So you can probably have half-day work in the office. So you can already start your career in Lithuanian companies or in international companies. We have a lot of international companies from industry ending NASDAQ. Like, for example, NASDAQ office is in Vilnius. Another aspect why students, young people love Lithuania is because of the rich cultural and overall activities that are happening in Lithuania. I would say that every day we have so many events, from jazz, exhibitions, etc., both in Vilnius, in Kaunas. So also students love it, and as well as a good work and life balance. It was done the research, and it found that Vilnius and Kaunas are the 6th place best in the world regarding work and balance, because students, you of course they are hardworking, but they need also, fun, some life. So it's a work balance in Lithuania is appreciated.
Yeah, I will totally agree with you. During my experience there, I had very good professors. It was, of course, different academic environment, but this thing that united all the professors there was that they were encouraging you to think critically. They were supporting you all the time. They were approachable, and that really helped me, made my experience easier there. And another thing I would love to mention is that I was awarded to the Lithuanian State Scholarship, which helped me a lot and which was really big support for me. I would love to ask you whether Lithuania is currently offering any help in terms of international students, like from Azerbaijan, in the form of research, maybe programs, or maybe in the form of scholarships.
Yes, we have such support. It's not very big in terms of numbers, but there are students, as you mentioned, your example, that can apply and can get scholarship, and there are Azerbaijani students, dozens that have scholarships. The best way probably would be to check online. There is a kind of one gate, one window where you can find all the information about studies in Lithuania, including scholarships. It's studyin.lt, studyin.lt, and that website also has the information about scholarships and other supportive measures for the foreign students.
Another thing I would love to ask you is about visa procedures, because I know many students are facing it, especially during summer. There are long queues and the procedures itself are difficult and stressful. So do you have maybe any suggestions for the Azerbaijani students who are navigating this process right now?
Yeah, I know that's really, as you said, might be stressful. And I came last August, and we faced already right away with our new consul that this situation should not be unacceptable, because the queues and the process was, I think, too long. So we talked, and I have to say that embassy does not play a part here, because since 2023, all students who are applying for residence permit to study in Lithuania, they apply online via migration department, which is in Vilnius. So it's like it's the system worldwide. So before it was embassy, now embassy is not in the process. But what we managed to do, the negotiations with and constant conversation with the migration department, which is also open and wants to solve these issues, that we opened more slots for Azerbaijani students since end of June this year. So, and now before coming here to this podcast, I checked, and there is now such a situation stressful that it used to be, and I hope we'll have even more good news at the end of the summer. So I really encourage more Azerbaijani students to come and apply and go to study to Lithuania. And on our part, we are really doing everything to make these procedures more easily, and that will take less time. it has been a week that we haven't talked about these procedures with the consul and with my colleagues in Vilnius, because we really want to see more Azerbaijani students to come to Lithuania. We heard from universities in Lithuania that they're very happy about Azerbaijani students. They are very motivated. They're very active. They receive good grades. So we really are so proud that you are such a good students and you are such a good ambassadors of your country in Lithuania.
That's great to hear. Let's get a bit personal. Could you please give us a little bit information about your academic background and how it has influenced your career path?
At school, I was very much interested in history, and through history, I was interested into politics, and that's how I get into international relations and political science, which I studied in Kaunas, but also I had a scholarship to study 1 year in America. I was very much into academia. I myself was a professor, a lecturer, I would say, at Vytautas Magnus University, the same university, and at the colleges. I taught for 2 years, different subjects, and I was thinking about my academic career. I published articles in newspapers. As a student, I was very active in conferences, reading my papers. Also very active in student life, participating or establishing various clubs like Club of Young Political Science Students, etc. So academia is always part of myself. Currently, I am a member of Vytautas Magnus University in Kaunas, Senate, as member of the Senate. So it's kind of really close to me.
And I know that there are a lot of students who are really interested in diplomacy and international careers. What would be your advice for them?
I would say for any student, just follow your dream and work hard. It's not enough. You have to work hard. But for international students, I would say to be very much interested what is happening now in current affairs, and not just reading headlines, but to get into what's behind headlines. And especially now to distinguish what is misinformation, disinformation, which is one of the key things, especially now when we see Russia bombarding, all the democratic countries with all this disinformation. So we have to distinguish, while learning about international relations, we have to distinguish what is false, what is true, what is manipulative information. This is one of the, I think, key subject for those who think about international relations and diplomacy.
And as students, we don't just like studying, we of course like traveling as well. So I would love to ask you, what would you suggest to travel in and around in Lithuania?
Yeah, bravo. Of course, students don't need just to study, they need to enjoy life and enjoy life through their traveling as well, because it's like a second university. Vilnius and Kaunas are one of those cities that are so rich in culture, and offering so many things. But Lithuania has a very beautiful nature. We have 3,000 or 6,000 lakes. It's a small country. I mean, the numbers differs because if you calculate more than half a hectare lake, so we have 3,000. But if you calculate also with very small lakes, we have 6,000 lakes. A lot of forests, so people usually go on weekends to enjoy nature, as well as seaside. Our Palanga resort is very beautiful. It's a little bit colder than here, of course, but sometimes in Baku it gets too hot, so some refreshing air in summer, it really helps.
Yeah, I myself visited Kaunas city and also Vilnius, and I really like how easy it's to travel and at the same time experience natural beauty. So I know that cultural exchange is a part of studying abroad. So what do you think, what would be the traditions or maybe some values in Lithuania that would be considered as unique from the side of Azerbaijani students?
In Lithuania, we have every 4 years, we organize a very big song and dance festival where even ensembles from abroad are coming. And there are sometimes, 40,000 spectators and participants, thousands of participants who are dancing and singing at the same time. It's a tradition which was around 100 years. And even Lithuanians who escaped Soviet occupation and went to America after Second World War, they established that tradition of song and dance festival in America. So this tradition, keeps on going. We have so many jazz festivals, even small towns, like even the town which is 30,000-40,000, they have their own jazz festivals. So if you go to Lithuania, it's almost every month you will have a chance to participate in jazz festival and other music festivals. A new one, which was not a traditional one, but a new tradition which is becoming, it's a pink soup festival.
Oh.
We have in summertime pink soup, which is cold and refreshing. Yeah. Pink is because it's color pink. And now in Vilnius, every May, we have a huge pink festival which receives attention from the large international newspapers and radios and televisions, because it's really a unique festival. So I'd like to invite all Azerbaijani, of course, students who are in Lithuania and Azerbaijani potential tourists to Lithuania to visit that festival.
First time when I tried that soup, it was weird for me when I just looked, but when I tried it was so delicious. So I hope I will try it one more time. So what would be your suggestion for Azerbaijani students who would love to study abroad, especially in Lithuania?
I would encourage to go to studyin.lt website, and also encourage to apply and come to Lithuania. Of course, to come to an educational fair in Baku in October, but you must be sure that Lithuania is welcoming you, is waiting for you, and would like to build this future together, because Lithuania really made a remarkable transition since we, after our occupation, regained our independence, our economy boomed. Now it's very IT oriented, very based on innovation, life sciences, technology, fintech. It's a worldwide known, like 90 of 100 the best universities in the world use Lithuanian laser technologies. So it's like a lot of opportunities for young people to come into this, new modern innovation sectors in Lithuania. And as I mentioned before about this work and study and life balance, United Nations report since last year, 2024, says that the happiest young people which is under 30, the happiest young people live in Lithuania. It's according to United Nations. So we'd like to invite Azerbaijani students to come and be part of that success story.
Yeah, and that brings us to the end of today's episode of Avropa Dalğası. Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us, Mr. Ambassador. We are so lucky to have you here.
Thank you, Saholon.
To everyone listening, if you're a student dreaming of studying in Europe, I hope today's conversation inspired you. And don't forget, the Study in Europe Fair is happening on October 25th and 26th right here in Baku, with almost 30 universities from at least 10 different European countries, including Lithuania, ready to meet you. I am Roya, and this has been Avropa Dalğası. Thank you so much for listening, and see you in the next wave.